Excellent. Well, hello everyone. It looks like there's a good amount of people jumping on in right now, and this is our Tithely webinar, and this one is focusing on Breeze. And so we're so glad you're joining us. And if you don't know, we do this about once a month, and so this is great to have you here. We are going to get started in a few minutes as people pop in. If you could throw in the chat where you're from and your church name, we'd love to hear where everybody's at.
Ooh, all right, got some Maryland represent the
Yeah,
chat.
there you go.
If anyone happens to be in the Nashville, Tennessee area today, come out and join me. I'm at the factory. Michigan. Oh, Kamloops, Omaha. Wow, we got some good representation all around here.
Omaha immediately makes me think of Peyton Manning. I'm forever he's changed that
That's
poor
right.
town. I just can't help. The factory in Franklin, is that where you're at, Les?
Yeah, it's the factory in Franklin. Evan, if
Evan
you are in the factory right now,
Oh, that would be so cool. Tell him to come pop on the screen with you. Say hi.
yeah, seriously. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Nice.
sweet. That's cool. I don't know if anybody's in the New England area, but I'm way up here, though it doesn't feel like the north right now. It's really hot today. Maybe not to some of you guys, but hey. All right, so we got 60 people, guys. This is an overwhelming amount of people. I love it. We're gonna have a good time here today. So, on that note, as you guys are asking questions in today's call, make sure we're gonna flood less the best we can with questions, and so just be patient as we answer them because this is gonna be a good time. We're gonna give it about 1 or 2 more minutes, see if anybody else jumps in, and then we will get things started.
And to my friend Daniel's point, if you hit that Q&A area, there will be moments where, as Daniel's leading this, I'll be answering some questions in the background. There might be some questions, just depending on the moment, might flag up and say, hey, let's answer this live. So I'll try to keep up best I can there, or we'll answer them live. But yeah, try to get you as much information and answers as possible here.
Perfect. I like that. It's like I think I think we're Tyler's actually trying office hours, by the way. I don't know if anybody has seen any of that going out, but apparently we're pushing some office hours where you could just jump on in and just ping some people. So if you see any messaging about that, feel free to jump in. That'll be a good time. But all right, well let's get started so we can end promptly and maybe give some time back to everybody here because this is slotted for an hour. We usually don't go an hour unless the questions are flooding in. So today's focus is Breeze, and what we are going to focus on is tags, auto tags, some of the automation functions within that, and then messaging as well, or messages. And so, really, what we're hoping to do here is there live chat help with Breeze. Not at this point, live chat, but we'll actually, to some degree, go ahead, Les. Why don't you answer that question? That's your domain.
Yeah. So in the support realm, you can say when you're logged into your Breeze page, there should be a little chat bubble in the bottom right as you're navigating throughout pages. You can click that, and our AI might try to help with some questions you have in the moment. You can also request human assistance, and depending on how many other help requests there are in line, our team's going to try to get back to that as soon as possible. So generally, whenever you're setting up a message in live chat, we can make that happen. But as well, if that can't happen in the moment, know that one of us trusty advocates will be getting back to you as soon as we can.
Yeah, and the fun disclosure for all you on here, the AI bot is something that I am actually starting to take over and learn how to utilize so I can play around with it a little more and even make it more effective. So we'll see how that goes. That should be fun. All right, let's get going here. All right, question of the day, because you always need a warm-up question. They're fun. This one, we have a lot of people at Tide that work all over the globe. And so I have some friends that are over in Australia, and their Christmas is summertime. So I'm just curious, throw in the chat, would you rather it be winter or summer during your Christmas period? Do you want the snow or do you want the beach? Like I guess that's kind of the question. Or the pool time. All right, good. Got a couple winters already. I'm a
Yeah,
1000% winter, by the way. I love snow. I want 18 inches of snow overnight when I wake up and I can't leave my house. Right? There we go. Okay.
this is unanimous so far. I mean, I'm the same way, but this is pretty surprising. I figured we'd have some kind of differences of opinions, but yeah, give me snow all day.
Winter in Tucson is 100 degrees in the summer. Yeah, so I guess you have no choice there, Susan, huh?
Okay, Amelia, I see it. We got a summer here.
Summer. All right, good. Yeah, one of
Nice.
our coworkers says that they have a pool party on Christmas Day. That's what they do. And I was like, okay, that's a weird thing to my brain. It doesn't work that
Yeah.
way. All right, we'll give that another minute here, and as I'll slide into the next part here, just note that Customer Experience team, both me and Les are part of that, and really our goal is to be by your side and for your growth. And I know that seems cliche, but we really take this to heart over at Tithely, and one of our mottos as well is simply serve, meaning we're just really trying to help you guys serve while we serve you. And so that's the heart. That's what we're aiming at. Hopefully you feel that way as we go through. Oh, winter as I lived in 4.5. Cool. Someone lived in Australia for 4.5 years. Cool. All right. So our team, we've kind of said our names a couple times. My name is Daniel, and my name is Tithely Grow. That would be a fun name. My name is Daniel, and this is Les, and we both work over in CXA, and we'll be doing our best to help this be worth your time and energy in terms of understanding Breeze in a greater way. Just a quick throw out there. If you're ever needing some kind of technology with your churches, we have a great product suite. Um, Check it out. Let us know what you need. If we don't have it, there's a chance we are trying to develop it. And so hopefully that'll help encourage all of you to can see all the different ways that Tidely can help serve you. As Les already mentioned, there is a Q&A button down the bottom. Please don't put questions in the chat because the chat can be overwhelming to follow. And so what we really prefer is you put it in the Q&A because that can be answered and removed and continued on from there. Yeah, Les will also be answering those questions quietly or live as mentioned too. So just let us know what you have a question on and we'll jump into there and get those answers as we go along. So jump right in. Tags. Set your church up any way you want. And this was I was trying to think of a good name for this. So tags allows you to create an environment within Breeze that you can organize your church in so many different ways. So we could have it could just be called groups, but it really doesn't do it service. Tags is an overwhelming amount of just resource in terms of how you can sort your people in many different ways. And so what I'm going to start here first is click on tags. So I was in the dashboard, logged into Breeze, moved over to tags, and now I'm inside of tags. So tags has a couple different quick features I want to show. First thing up in the top right corner is the fast, just click adds a tag, boom. There's a drop down caret right below it. When you click that, it lets you add a tag or add a folder. Those are the two basic things you can do inside here, but there's a lot more with that as you can do. On the far left side, you can see your folder. So you'll be able to see a great drop down of here's your folders. And then what you also can see is another drop down caret next to that, which goes into subfolders. I actually put one in here just to write subfolder. So if you want to really sort this through, you can. So you can have your children's ministry, then under children's ministry, you can have every grade and every kid can be in one of those grades. And then you can even have the teachers. And so you can create all of these folders with all of these tags and really sort your members out. You can create a member directory. You can create just your small groups. You can create your larger groups. You can just put in interest groups. People want to play basketball. You can create a basketball. So there's a lot of great opportunities. Can I hide old tags? Remember, pop them in the Q&A, but can you hide old tags? You can come in here to edit and you can change the name and you can come over here and you can delete it. There is no hiding a tag, but you just don't have to use a tag or create a folder and put tags you're not using in a folder. That would be kind of the couple steps you can do within there. But
Yeah, it's a
so let
good
me show
call
you there.
out. I'll point
Yeah,
out
go less.
too as well, you could have a folder name such as archive. So that way it's
Yeah.
not a perfect scenario, but it is your way of saying, hey, these are something that's just not something we're really using right now, especially if we're talking about seasonality. We're just talking about Christmas. Maybe there's,
Mm.
Christmas show that you have going on, whatever the case. Hey, these are people who want to volunteer with VBS. That could be a good way to categorize.
VBS. Every year I get asked to be the person who hosts all the silly intros. And so I have a great time with
Oh, of
that.
course you are. I can see that.
Yeah, you delete a tag, it's removed from everything if you delete it. It's as if it didn't exist anymore. All right, let's keep going here. So I'm going to create a tag just to show you. Add tag. Come in, give it a name, and this is going to be called oh, what's it? Smart tag. So we can find this area. You're going to see why I'm calling it smart tag in a second. So I'm going to call it smart tag, and I'm going to create, and it's an all tag. So right now I'm just dropping it in the function all tags. So it's going to show up right here. So I've made this tag. There's nobody in it yet. That's great. Now I didn't mean to make it there. Maybe I meant to make it inside of small groups. So I can literally just click, drag it up and drop it into small groups. And then when I go into small groups, my smart tag's right there. Whenever you've made something, you can always move it after it. Say I don't want it in small groups anymore. I can grab it, bring it over here and drop it into all tags. and that will bring it back out to all tags. And similarly, folders can be dropped into folders as well. So I can grab women's ministry and drop this in the students ministry if I want to too. So don't be afraid to make stuff. Yeah, the drag and drop functionality is great, right? Don't be afraid to just make something and then sort it as you go along, but definitely take the time to sort it. And so now that I've made a tag, again, I don't like that I called it smart tag. I want to call it smart tags, maybe just for fun, or smart something else. Can go in, change the name, update it, and that will update it globally. So wherever that shows up, that name will be different. Now what I'm going to do is click into smart tags. When I click into smart tags, it opens up theoretically. There we go, a little slow. A couple different options. On the left side, you have two different functions. People, which is going to show you the people, and then delete. If I click delete, it's going to ask me, do I really want to do that? No, I don't. So then undo it, right? That's the best part ever, is the secondary questioning of every delete ever, because how many times you deleted something you didn't want to delete? You got your tag here. I've called it smart tag. So once you're here, you can just add people to the tag. Come up here, hit plus. I can start typing in names. And so I believe we have some fun names in here. Frodo Baggins is my favorite. So I'm going to add Frodo into this tag. Let's see, I'm going to type in somebody else. Can hit the word A. Let's add in Julie Clark into there as well. And then let's just type in another word here and we'll add in Jim Halpert. So I've added in 3 people to this tag. And oh, actually, you know what? Jim isn't part of that group. So I'm going to come over here and just go X, and it takes him back out. And now that I hit add, this tag now has those 2 people that I wanted. And immediately you have actions you can do within here that's great. And we're going to cover this a little more in depth later on in this webinar. But you can email them, text them, and you can export this list. And right below that is a more actions function. When you click this, this is pretty cool too. So say you got a tag and you want to create a super tag with a bunch of other tags. You could go into each tag and click in and say assign to tag. So now I could take everybody that's in this group and I could find a new tag that I want to assign them to. Say I want to add them to this biking group. I hit check, hit assign. Now everybody in this tag has now also been assigned to that biking tag, which is really helpful to moving large groups of people without having to go through and do it every time over and over. I can remove from tags. I can literally just go through and take these people from the tags they're a part of. So I can undo those as well. And then right below, I can update people. When you come in here, you can choose a field to update. It'll update all those people's fields, or it'll update that specific field for everybody. So if it's an age or a member number notes, some very individually specific ones you probably don't want to use, but it gives you the option to update a large amount of people's data right on the spot there. Finally, you can archive the people and delete the people. And so that's tags. Very simple. It's pretty intuitive. If you've been with Breeze long enough or you've used Breeze long enough, you've probably figured a lot of this out, but there's a lot of cool things here. Les, I'll pause for a second. Is there anything else cool you can pop out of this, or did I get most of it there?
Yeah, you really covered that well. I would point out too, you had just mentioned about updating people and how
Oh,
it's quick
yes.
to do that in a couple clicks. It's also nice because you can take a custom profile field and see
Mm,
there we got brought by, got t-shirt size. Those are all custom fields that you can create in that profile field area. So really helpful to be able to, it's not just the Breeze standard profile fields there.
excellent. That's a good call out. All right, I'm going to keep going on here. So smart tags. So now I'm going to drop out of smart tags and slide back over here. So tags. The next thing is kind of segmenting groups using tags. So I want to call out this again. I already talked a little bit about it, but back inside tags, just make sure you can be as creative as you want with these groups. You don't have to just have one group of one type. And so take some time, think through your ministry. I always say create a flow chart or some kind of Excel doc with all the different groups you want and who you want in there so that you could come in here and just really make this work to your advantage. The more time you spend inside here in the future, the more you'll be able to give access to yourself and make things easier for yourself to find different groups or different tags of people and whatever they may be. As we've already mentioned, like Vacation Bible School is a great one. It's going to come every year. It's going to come fast every year. Kids got a school. It feels like it's 3 weeks later, Vacation Bible School. If you have that set up already for yourself, then you know all the volunteers you need to reach out to. You know all the people that you got to connect with, and you can create that getting larger and larger groups and different information going on there. Let's keep going next. So smart tags. This is my thing. I love smart tags. This is one of the coolest features we've ever made. Can I make the screen bigger? The text is small. I can zoom in a little bit potentially, but you also can zoom in yourself on the screen. And so I'm trying to remember how to do that on Zoom. Do you remember how to do that on Zoom, Les? Is it just pinching with your touchpad if you have one?
Let's see, I was answering a question. I'm sorry. Zooming in, let's
I
see.
can zoom
Should
in, but
just
I
be able
don't.
to,
I can do it, but can they? They can do it too,
right.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you should
believe
be able
there's
to
a
zoom in
function.
as well as yeah, I'm able to zoom in right now as a user too. So that would just be, yeah, whether it's your trackpad, there should also be like a plus or minus magnification
Yeah.
icon there when you try to zoom in your right within that screen.
If there's more people out there feeling like the text is small, I'll zoom in permanently, but I don't want to do it just to mess up other people's views. Please let me know if you want me to zoom in. But let's keep going for smart tags. So we're in the tags function. You find your smart tags over here in the settings, the little gear in the top right corner. I'll show you that right there. And then when you click that gear, it opens up. And obviously, you have your account settings and your organization settings. Within manage your organization, down below, the third one down is automations. Automations has a lot of fun stuff in there. We're going to focus only a couple things. And when I click into automations, I'm going to load up and you're going to see a couple smart tags I've already made. What's really cool here is people that match a given filter will automatically be assigned this one here, right? So what it shows is anyone that's labeled fourth and fifth grade will automatically get added to this tag. And so we're going to show you how to kind of do something like this. You don't have automations. Interesting. Go ahead, Les.
Yep, yeah, we can
Smart
answer
tags. I
that
can
one live. This is probably
go
due to
for it.
like a just a permission type of field. So I'll
Mm,
answer in the chat as well. But yeah, probably a permissions is what we're coming into there if you don't see automations.
sounds great. Thank you, Les. So we got the smart tags here that exist. And so I'm going to make a brand new one and kind of show you the different fun stuff you can do. But you obviously could come in and turn one off, turn it on if you'd like. The only thing that can't be turned off is your school grades automatically promote on June 15th. This one is defaulted to on. It'll run annually on that selected day. And what this one does, which is great, is if you've designated people at a certain age group, it will bump them up to the next age group. So my church, for example, we move everyone up in September, actually. When everyone gets back from camp in August, everyone moves up to the next grade level. And so you could come into this automatic promote on June 15th one, come into here and change the date. I might make it to be August 28th or something like that for me. But that's what that school grades automatically promotes on what date function as well. But let's create a smart tag. So I come in, I hit add task. Now there's a whole bunch of tasks in here. We're going to stick to this one top one for now, smart tag. Note it says it runs once per hour. So once you create a smart tag, it will continue to update its data once an hour forever until you shut it off. So you can work on people's data and it'll automatically take the updated data and move them into smart tags as necessary. This is where it becomes next level. So I'm going to come in here and click the arrow. It's going to ask me for two things. It's going to ask me to pick a filter. This is where I can go through and choose any option of filter that I want, including other tags, by the way. So you can use smart tags to grab other tags, which is kind of fun. I'm just going to stick with something very simple. I'm going to go into gender. I'm going to pick male, and I'm just going to create a list of anyone that is tagged as a male or not tagged as male in their profile is a male. And so the polling, I don't want to use the word tag because that's what we're creating here. I'm going to click this one here. And so I hit use filter. And that's all I'm going to do. And so now I've got the filter, and now over here will automatically be assigned to this tag. So I'm going to come in here and click this, and I can go through any one of the tags that I have made. I'm going to use the smart tags, just the one I created. I just called it that. Maybe I should have given it a different name. But smart tags for tag for smart tags. Here we go. I click it. And then another option pops up, which is very important. When this task runs, also remove people from this tag that do not match the selected filter. So this is very helpful if you have a very fluid group, for example, something where people come in and out of often and you don't want to manually update that all the time. Maybe it's just an age range. You just want to know all the 20-year-olds in your church, right? So if you do 20 to 29, as soon as they hit that age inside the breeze, if their age is in there, it will pop them up into that tag automatically. And as soon as they go from 29 to 30, it will automatically update them to pull them out of that tag. And so you can create these automatic opportunities. And so I'm going to hit add task. I'm not going to change this one to run automatically or to remove. I'm just going to leave it as this. So smart tags, hit add. So now that smart tag is up here. When I zoom in, people that match the given filter will automatically be assigned to smart tags. And so now I can go back in like, oh, what did I do that again? So you can go into settings, open it up, hit filter selected and go, oh, that's right. It's just anyone that's male in the system will be added to that tag. Great. You can update it if you want and hit use filter. And so now that I've done that, I'm just going to hit cancel because it's already saved. So that's running. So now I go back to tags, open up. I come down to smart tags. And what's great, there was 0 people. Oh, there was 2 people in there before. Now there's 13 people. And I believe it should well, maybe Julie's not labeled as male or female, but Julie would be female generally, because I know her. And so I think that would have been removed if I had set up that. But oh, I didn't set it to automatically remove, so never mind. I'm getting ahead of myself. So she stayed in there because I didn't ask it to remove people that don't belong. So keep in mind, if you create a tag as a smart tag and you've already added people, it won't remove them unless you pick that option. But you can see all the different people that have been added in. And now I have this great group. And again, as before, I can email, I can text, I can export, and I can do all the other options right here that I'd want to do. Yes, I'll answer that one live if you don't mind, Les. I'll grab that one. Linda, you
Sure.
can pick as many filters as you want to select off. Just keep in mind as you're picking those filters, let me show you back in here into automations. The more you pick, the less likely you are to gather a bunch of people. So if you pick too many options, you might end up zeroing yourself out. But filter selected. So I went in and hit gender, and then I could come in here. I don't think we have a ton of ages in these fake people, but let's go down to like, let's just say 10 to 60, right? Whatever, and hit that use filter. Um, and then I'm actually going to ask it to remove people that don't belong as well, because that's going to get rid of some of the people in there that are already there. Update task, hit that. So that should run, because once I've resaved it, it runs for you. I go into tags and let's look. So there's 18 people in there now. That's interesting. So now anyone that's, let's jump in. So it pulled in some other people. Now that's weird to me, Les. Maybe you can help me understand this. This is something that I've thought would work that well. I had it set for male and I picked the age range, but it pulled in everybody in that age range. Did I mess up there?
Here, let's go back to that. I'm sorry. I was answering some
Yeah,
questions at the same time. I want to make sure I'm giving the respect to the question here.
you got it. I just think, oh, I unchecked male. That's what I did
There we
wrong.
go.
So my bad. So there we go. I unchecked male and age is 10 to 60. I apologize there. So Linda, as you do that, use filter, update task. That runs it. I go back into tags. And now there's 8 people. So some of the people that weren't in that range were now removed out, and all the people that are tagged as males are in there as well. And so you can see that's who's there, and you could keep building up from there.
Yeah,
Let me
and I
mark
want to
that
point
that
out
one.
too a good
Yeah.
point because uh, Daniel, you had just shown that by running the task multiple times, that's basically like forcing that smart tag to run
Ooh,
more than the one given time per hour, which it's already set to. So that's a way if you know that things are updating, maybe you want to change some filters, that's going to be in real time, which is really nice. Otherwise,
perfect.
just to save kind of some speed across all areas, it's just going to run otherwise just that one time per hour.
Great. So we can like force an update, which we love being able to do. So there we go. Also note, because I checked off that automatically remove people and add people, you can see this lock function. This will not let you remove somebody from this specific tag when that's set up. So I'll show you again how I did this and why I can't remove people. So it's locked. If I go back up to settings, go back to automations, and click the smart tag. And if I go to the settings function right here, when this task runs, also remove people from this tag that do not match the selected filter. By doing so, it locks me out of making manual changes. So if you don't want to be locked out of manual changes, you can uncheck this, update the task. I can go back into the tags. And when I go back into smart tags again, now I can remove people. And so if you're like, why is this locked? It's because you set up to automatically remove, just so you can know that one's caught me a couple times in the past. But that's basically smart tags at its best. And you can create as many of these as you want in a bunch of diversified ways. And then you can filter them. You can even create a folder called smart tags so you know where all of them are so you can find them later, or you can just put them into the different groups they belong. Use these, they're very helpful and they'll allow you to save time updating all of your tags every time you have an update to your data. Smart tags. Emailing and text messaging. These are what we're going to cover next right now. But I did want to point out really quickly over here in the settings some other automations that may be worth pursuing and looking at. We're not going to spend a significant amount of time on here, but I wanted to show you there are other options within this automation. So when I hit add task, you can see the next one down is a birthday email. This is great where you can just automatically have a birthday email sent out to a person on their birthday, 9 a.m. their time. And so it's really easy. It's simple. You click into it, you pick the send to, you click from, so you can change whatever email you have in your system. You can say what you want for the subject, what you want for the message, and add task. And for the rest of the time, you're going to look awesome because everyone's going to get a birthday email from you, and it's just going to look great and just feel great just knowing that that's covering the birthdays. One thing to note, the birthday does have to be inside the account. So keep that in mind. If there's no birthday, it won't send something. There's not a generic date. So that would be kind of fun. Just everyone who doesn't have a birthday gets something on January 1st. Add task. Another one that's great is follow-up progressions. We're not going to cover these at length today, but I do want to show you what you can do is create follow-ups. Actually, let me start back a couple steps so this is easier for you to follow. Follow-ups are up here. Within follow-ups, you can create a bunch of steps. Say someone's coming into your church for the first time. You want to show the steps to going from visitor to member. You can create the steps and then you can link those steps together so that people are able to go through a system. It's not an automated system, it's still a manual movement, but people are able to go step 1, 2, 3, 4 and allow you to see where somebody is in a certain set of steps that you want them to be. Very well could just be first time visitors get an email or a welcome package. You can create the follow up. And then what you're able to do within the automations element is once you've created all of those follow ups, you're able to come into here and you're able to set up a progression. So you can go from one follow up, so first time giver, to another follow-up after that. Then now they go to membership. So say they give for the first time, now you move them over to the follow-up membership. So once this is finished in the follow-up section, it'll automatically assign them to another follow-up. So it's a great way to track where people are at a different point within a system. So it's not 100% automated, but it's definitely helpful. Can you add graphics? That's a good question. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I was just taking a look. Actually, I can hop in here with you. We
Yeah.
can add graphics to the automated birthday emails. Basically, we can format it like a regular email. So that'd be including a graphic, an image,
Mhm.
adding some kind of link. I would just use best practices there and test it out on yourself firsthand to make sure the image is showing as expected, make sure the file's not too large. I know sometimes links as well will redirect, and that's not always the best experience. So I would just
Oh,
run
there you
some
go.
tests before make sure it's in a good situation.
Yeah, send one to yourself. But that's great right here. Upload an image. It's perfect. It's built in. And then more functionality. You can even do view source. If you really want to get dangerous, jump on in and play with the source code because that's you can embed whatever you want in source code. So have fun. There you go. You can embed a YouTube video probably. Okay, so that's the birthday one. Let's go back. Where was I? I went through follow progressions. Follow up with new givers. So there's a very specific one for new givers that's built in. So you can click into this one. What happens when someone donates the first time to the following fund for the first time? So you can pick. So when they donate to the building fund, you can create over here a follow up, and in that follow up, it'll automatically just designate to that. And so this just tracks people giving for the first time to a fund. So if you create a new fund, if you get a new campaign, have a lot of fun with that one as well. Showing more options, you can group by family, and you can consider a new giver if they haven't given the last 18 months. This also allows you to know if someone's left and came back to your congregation, you could track that. So you could just check this off and hope to find everyone that's been new to your church or hasn't been in a while. But that's a built-in function. And then finally down the bottom, follow up with new attenders and auto tag form respondents. This one is super helpful. So what you can do is you can choose a form, say a contact form. You can choose a tag, and we could call this one, I could put this in the smart tag as well. Everyone that fills out the contact form will automatically be added into a tag in a smart way. So then you're able to go from there to see who has filled out the form and reach out to them very easily. And so there's some great functions within automations. Encourage you to play with them. We could talk about these for 3 hours straight and not cover all the details. Start playing with them and then reach out to support when you get stuck. I mean, that's kind of the way to go. That's always encourage people. Get in there, try to figure something out, try to break the system, have fun, and see what you can create in automations. And I see you have some questions. I'm going to let you keep going. So I'm going to back out of this. So that's kind of the automations overview. We're going to cover one more area here, which was the texting and emailing, as I mentioned already. So now you've got a tag and you want to make this a group that you reach out to. I had one church I was onboarding and they were wanting to send a Monday morning with the pastor email. And so I encourage them, if they really want control over it and they don't want to be automatic, smart tags is a great way. Just have them sign up through a contact form, have it automatically get added to this tag. They're subscribed, and then you could go in every Monday and just send out the message you want. But let's go into smart tags. It's decidedly not letting me click it. And so inside of here, I showed you before, email, text, export. So we're going to start with email. Email is pretty simple. You pop up. Everyone that has an email is right here. Oh, looking for the new email editor. Oh, that's cool. I'm not even in the new one there. Let's go do that. Oh, can I leave the site? Beware, I'm trying not to break this. There we go. Okay. Uh, oh, because I have to go from here. Okay, let me see. Let me yeah, this is a Pendo guide. I'm just going to X out of this guide. So that's a premium guide there. Let's go back to your using people guide. I'm going back to tags now. It's going back into smart tags. Apparently I didn't set up for that. Email people, and there it is. Okay, so I guess I have to do it through people. So anyways, let me just start over. What happens here is when you're looking for the new email editor, if you're going through tags, apparently it's not letting me jump in the new email editor through tags. So you can create a tag, and then what you can do inside the people page is you can create a filter and sort by that tag. So if I go to filter, I can scroll down the bottom and I could so in tags and I can go down to tags here and scroll all the way down to smart tags. And then that's going to pull up the people that I've pulled into that smart tag from here. They can X out of that filter. Now keep in mind, you can save this filter, which I do encourage you to do if you want to, because what happens is then it's permanently saved over on the left side. You can call up anytime. But from here, I'm going to select everybody inside. I'm going to go to email. And this pulls up my two different options, the basic email and the design email. And this is what I think is really cool about our options here. Basic email is what you saw already. It pops up, shows you all the people that have email addresses, and then it shows you right below there are two people that don't have an email address. So those people will not obviously get an email. What's also cool is you could come up and you could type in someone else that you want to add. Like I said, Ben Wyatt was there. It's not functioning for me. I guess it won't search for me, so I have to actually enter. Oh no, there's good. Ben, I opera in there, and then there's Ben Wyatt, and then a bunch of other options. If I click into it blank, I can add in all the people I want to on top of that tag if there's a couple extra people. Create a subject. Here's all the inputs you can change and have fun with, including images. You can also use mail merge if you want here, and you can also use templates if you want here. So you can create these different functions that make your life a little bit easier going forward. Down the bottom, you can add an attachment. Okay. And then over here on the right side, you can choose a send later, send now. You can choose the date for the send later, or I could just select send now. And then what happens, it just makes it easier there. And then over here for the send later, you can pick all the pedigree information. By the way, get down the bottom. I need an email subject. Don't forget to add in the subject. Otherwise, you will not be able to send it. And then it tells me, oh, email body required. So hello, friends. There we go. Now I can send it. Please note right below, right above the send button, there is a way to change who it's sending from. Say you don't want to send from grow at tithe.ly, which, that's where I would send stuff from, but maybe that's how you want to send stuff from. You can always change who it's being sent from. And then from there, hit send, and this will send this email at 7:24 at 1:31, which is already passed, so that really doesn't help much anyways, but I'm not going to click send anyways. That's the email. That's a basic email editor. But if you go back in, and I try to send again another email, what's really helpful is the design function. When I click in design, this allows you to create templates and build off of pre-made templates that we already have inside of here. And this is so helpful and so cool. This is next level emails being sent to your church. Instead of just a text block being sent out, we can create this one here. I love the Easter service one. I'm going to hit preview. I'm going to hit next. And it's going to load up the editor for me. There it is. Took a little time. And I don't have time to go through all of the details in here. There are some great help articles and functions on how to learn, but most of it is drag and drop. On the right side, you have columns, headings, text, all the different options. So if I want to add a column, I could drag it up, pop it in there, adds a column, and then I can choose. I want it to be at 25% across the way. Then I can click in just to add the content I want to. And so I click no content here, drag from the right. So I want to add in an image here to this spot, and then it loads up, and then I could go in and choose the image I want to add in from the uploader, or I can use an AI function to actually create an image that is made by prompts. Some great ways to function and play with this editor here. And then obviously you can go down and add a button, which is the button there, and then you can link that button to a form, and that can let people register right inside that form. You can do HTML, which I showed you before. You could drop into here, and you can literally just embed whatever you want. If you have an embed code, drop it in there and have a great time changing that function. And so that's the email editor. I'm not going to spend, like I said, a lot of time going through all of this. It's definitely to get used to playing with it, but I do want to show you one of the best things to do. If you want to send an email every week, create a great layout, make it generic, then up here, save it as a template. Once you've made the perfect template, save it, because then what you can do is you can be able to send it out every week where you can call it up. So if I save this template, hit save, and I call this Daniel's test, and save this template. Now going forward, I can call up this template that I've edited and go from there. I'm gonna go back in. So now I'm going to go back out of this, X out. I'm going to go to email, design, and I'm going to show you down the bottom or wherever it should show up here in alphabetical order. Where are you? Oh, there it is at the top. My templates. Daniel test was right there. I could click this, load it up, and then from there I can send it out. I'm going to keep going here. So that's kind of the two email functions you can utilize. Definitely encourage you to play around with them. Text messaging, pretty simple. Click text. Loads up. Everyone that has a phone number will be obviously be able to receive a text message. People who don't have a phone number will not show up as text messaging. So that's just so you can know going forward to make your life a little bit easier. Send in your text. Welcome to the smart tag. Right? I don't know why I capped tag not there. And then exclamation point. You can link a photo or file. You can use a shortened URL. You can see how many characters you have left. When linking a photo or file, Breeze uses a shortener automatically to save space. You will see right here that you have 250 text messages remaining or how many you have left. And you could go in and change that to be so that it'll always go over the 250 to keep going. Because every month you get 250 text messages. And then from there, you have to pay for the next 250. But if you set it to automatically go over it, it'll just do it automatically for you. Otherwise, it will just stop at 250 right away. Let's keep going. Can you attach videos? No, you can link to them though. So you can add a URL and people can open that URL to go where they want to go, Evan, just so you know. And sorry, I'm just seeing the questions here inside the chat itself as well, Les. Is there more training on editing in pre-made templates? I believe inside of our training videos for Breeze, there are videos that walk through this. Am I correct about that, Les?
Pre-made templates. That's right. Yeah, I could throw in as well, Evan. If you put in the Q&A, I could throw in basically what it would link to a help article that would help on
Perfect.
this. But that's another area too. I think to kind of overcap what Daniel's mentioning too, there's
Please.
a lot of ways that we can go deep into Breeze. I want to also, uh, I think it's always good to understand the importance of simplicity along with that too, so that way we're not feeling overwhelmed whenever we are playing around or being able to create those automations. Like I know for me, the first time I poked my head around some of these areas, I got a little too happy and ended up creating a lot of tags or create a lot of spaces where ultimately our goal is just to be able to simply serve you. And sometimes that is with automations, and sometimes, yeah, just taking them in stride. So I think this is
Hmm,
great information and, yeah, really helpful to be able to take it and run with it. See, yeah, where your ministry sees fit.
awesome. Excellent. Yeah, I always just say, have fun. Just play around with something. Create what I think is a really great way to play around with the system is add in a test person in your Breeze. Just someone that's generic that doesn't go to anyone you know. It just goes to you, maybe one of your backup emails or a secondary email or a secondary phone number. And then just play around with what you can do and moving that person around and see how you can use this person and experience what one of your members will be experiencing within the ecosystem of Breeze. That's always a great way without
Yeah,
torturing
it's a
somebody
perfect way
within
to
your own
test.
ministry. Yes. Um, cool. I'm gonna keep going there. So that's text messaging. I wasn't done yet. So within text message, it shows you how many left. If I click this change button, well, that's interesting. It opened up a whole nother link. So with inside of this, this opens up in the settings function. You'll see this enable unlimited texts. If this is checked off, when it goes past 250 text messages in that month, it's 1.9 cents per text. And the most important question always asked is if I send one text message to 100 people, is that one message or 100 messages? And the answer is it's 100 messages. It's still 100 different text messages being sent to 100 different people. So if you have a 100-person congregation, you send a text message to everybody. That's 100 out of your 250, so you're left with 150. Just always keep that in mind. We don't want people to be caught off guard by that as well. And then finally over here, send now, send tomorrow, or send at a custom date and time. You can play around with those functions and go with it. I was told by Les, and this is an important thing to mention, that we are experiencing a current bug with the send later option. If you choose that today, apparently it will send now. So just keep in mind there is a bug that's being worked on by our awesome team in the back end, and they're going to fix it quickly because I know they do a great job at it. But if I were to come in here and hit send tomorrow at 3 p.m., I believe that is code for it sending now. So just keep that in mind. That's not always the case. It wasn't this case a couple days ago, but it's just something that kind of pops in as we play around with our system and make it better and better. Bugs occur. And so you can always check out our status page on Breeze to find out what's going on. Actually, Les, if you pop that into the chat, I'll open it up here and show everybody. But there's a great
Yeah,
status
here, let me do
page. Perfect. There's a great status page. If you're ever wondering, like, is something wrong with Breeze? You're experiencing something, you don't know what's going on, or there's a bug. This is a great place to go because it makes your life much easier. So status Breeze, opening this up. So this is our status page. You can save it right from the chat there. And what happens is it shows you error sending text, and we give you what's happening. So our teams have resolved the issue while an error is being shown for some attempting sending text. The root cause were related to numbers that are incorrectly formatted in profile. So that's cool. They fixed one issue, and they're before that they were working on this. So it looks like they're still investigating an issue with scheduling text at a custom time, which is resulting in immediate send. So you can kind of see this one's still being worked on. So you can see the dates. This would happen yesterday, and then this is with last night, and then last night, and then this is the most recent update. Please come here. Save this in your bookmarks to come see what's going on and what you can see and what's happening. If there's something off, it may explain it to you right here, and you'll have an easy update to what's going on. And then don't forget to subscribe to updates so you can get those updates yourself right to your inbox. So that was what I wanted to show there. So we are kind of getting close to the end of the intention of this time. Um, let's open up for any questions. There's a lot of options to ask here. You can stick to what we talked about here. You can also ask some other questions if they're really on your mind. Um, Les is a machine at answering stuff, and I will
it.
answer some live questions along with Les too. So do you want to answer this one live or do you want to take it in the chat there?
Yeah, we might as well instead of chatting. Yeah,
All
I'll
right,
just click answer live.
go for it.
Automations and being able to see the history of what's been updated. For that, I would always recommend just clicking the gear icon, going to automations, making sure that I think this goes along with, as Daniel was showing it earlier, always iterating on that. Remember, we were going back and seeing what those filters were. But whenever it comes to running them, I would always go to this automation space. We might also be referencing the log in this question as well. Uh, so all actions would then also be shown in the log. Like say if it was updating people profiles or moving in tags, when you go the gear icon, it would be manage account and then logs, basically to show how things are moving about. Now, not
Where
everything is captured in that log, but personally, I would just stick within this automation space. I feel like that's the best way of just being able to see live what kind of filters are sending you where. We got another one here. It looks like what are the differences between automation and bulk actions? That's a good question. Uh, so a bulk action that would be, I mean, I guess the Breeze term for it, bulk tasks, just to make sure being clear too. But bulk tasks, think about that as like updating people profiles. If you have like a CSV file, if you want to import people, export, you could do all of that from within
mm,
the bulk tasks area. Automations would be if you wanted to change some fields, but I mean, they serve similar actions. So it just
yeah.
kind of depends on how you want to use those. If you want to change fields within, say, a tag, like Daniel was showing earlier, it'd probably make more sense to use automations, but the two can act very similarly depending on how you use them.
And I do want to show something within here since we're here already. Merge individual people. I've heard people not enjoy this merge function. What is really great is over here, you can click this middle one and it lets you merge all duplicates. Now, I don't encourage you to use this function, but you can. But on the very far right, it actually pops up if there are specific duplicates and who they're duplicating with. So this first option here on the top is if you know the two people's specific names that you want to merge in. The middle one will let you combine all duplicates, which is wild and radical, especially if you have a lot of people in there. And then this last one will show you duplicates of people, and you can choose to merge them directly so you can see what's going on. That always helps. Very helpful. That's always helpful just to kind of know what you're going for. Let's go back out of there. Okay, go back to dashboard of people. There we go. I'm gonna hit done on that one. I'll answer Lauren Sleeper's question here, unless you're answering that one, I think. So at this point, there's no plan that I know of to increase text messages in terms of the quantities. 250 is kind of what they've done for a while. Um, yeah, we just don't know, and I don't think there is a plan at this point, just so you're aware.
Yeah, and as long as unlimited is enabled there, you will continue to send messages. I would just make sure that within your account, the unlimited has been checked, which if you go to the gear icon and manage account, you'll have an option to check if you would like unlimited messages. And let's see. Yeah, we even have that here in the test account. So uh, that is there. As for Carrie's question, we've got several of screens not looking like this one. That could very well be just the difference between legacy and beta. Beta,
Mm,
that is just the name of basically the newer version of what the Breeze user interface looks like. So seeing that, yeah, there you go. You're already on it. So you can enter and exit out of beta. It really just represents what experience you're looking for. I know there's some slight functionality differences. The screens themselves will look different, but the end of the day, the action and goals of what you're trying to accomplish will be the same between experiences. So might be a little different click path of getting there. And personally, I
yeah.
like beta, but you definitely don't have to use beta if you would rather use the legacy version.
And don't let that little note scare you. I think it's there. It probably could be removed. I've been told that it's basically not a beta anymore. But this just kind of tells you there's some things that could be off. But I think the people beta as well works significantly better than the base level we have. So
That's right. I'm with you there, Daniel.
cool.
All right, seeing some more questions here. I guess we just answered the next one from Lauren as well. I've been having trouble with members who are accidentally archived by past staff. Button uncarve isn't working. Let's see, second profiles. Yeah, I'd say that's a good one to reach out to our support team with to more look individually at what might be happening there. I know there was a situation back where unarchiving, we had to basically refresh the page in order to find that archive section. So if refreshing the page isn't pulling that up, go ahead and actually, I'll put this in the chat as well to reach out to our support team. This
Hmm.
is if you send an email, I'm just making sure I type that in right. That'd be pretty rude of me to direct you somewhere and it doesn't go there. But support@breezechms.com. That's probably the best way for those individual one-off kind of situations. Like, hey, this is not really expected behavior. Like, am I doing something wrong? Is there a problem? I'd say just go
Yeah.
ahead and email us there and we can more look individually for you.
Okay, so the follow-ups there. I'll answer this one live. So what happens is when I do follow-up automation, will it show up in the follow-up page? Yes, you'll be able to see who is in which follow-up. So right now, this one is assigned to me, right? So status is it's assigned to Tyler Success. The topic is membership, and the person is Clark. And so I'm able to see that they've reached this task for me. And so I could decide what I want to do. I could also pick up all assignments, which would be anything that's assigned, which apparently there's none there. So that's interesting. Oh, because this one's already done, isn't it? Oh no, assigned by me, assigned to me, and all assignments. There we go. I messed that up. Excuse me. So assigned to me, I could see which ones are mine and what I need to do, and then because the notes completed notes there, and then I could see assigned by me. These are ones created by me to other people, and I could show that, and also I could come up here and show completed ones if I want to. And then I can see all assignments that are in the system right now, which all of those are completed. I didn't make any test ones. That's why none are showing up here. And then within the options function, you can go down and you can see all of the different follow-ups that have been created and what they're supposed to be doing. So interested in information about being baptized, you can click in and edit this and kind of just know that that's what that person's interested in, that follow-up. And then you can designate someone to follow up with that person about the baptism itself and update it from there. And so everything will show up inside the follow-ups tab as you go through it. How do you get in beta if I don't see that top bar? Is there another way in, Les? Is that a
Yep, yeah, I had just actually answered that one. I'd recommend
okay?
reaching out to support if you don't see that
Cool.
enter beta area. Again, that's it. If you're already, I guess in that case, using legacy or you're familiar using legacy, totally okay to keep using that experience as well. But yeah, if you want to use beta, definitely want to give you that opportunity to. All right. Also, Susan, I can answer that one live. It's not enough to change it to unarchive the menu. You then have to click on it to unarchive. Yeah, that's a good point. I think Susan might be answering more of one of our friends' previous questions too. So once you click unarchive, it's basically like kind of a double confirmation, almost like deleting people as well. Or I mean, I think you had shown that as well, deleting a tag. There's that double confirmation area. So could just
Yeah,
be someone clicked on archived and had not done that. Basically, a double confirmation.
you're right. I resent your support email out. There was someone in the chat that said they couldn't see everything. I think it was just sent to hosts and panelists. So I moved it to everyone. So you should see it now, Rebecca,
Oh,
the support at
nice.
Breeze
That's a good point.
CHMS. And actually a status Breeze page too. I'll pop that in there too. This also is what we sent out. So in the chat now, you should see support at breezechms.com. Oh, I didn't copy it correctly. go back up, and the status one as well. So that way you can see the two things we have sent everybody.
Great. Okay, here we've got a question from Narissa regarding different people accidentally archiving. You do have an option to change the role permission to not. Oh, it's another good point. I mean, yeah, users and roles. We could probably do a whole webinar just on
Yes.
users and roles. But very versatile in giving people the right visibility, maybe the right actions. I mean, it happens. You know, we're all human. We're all going to make mistakes. If there are moments where there's maybe some question on if someone should be given more access or maybe restrict some access, that could be a quiet way of making that action behind the scene as well. Like, hey, we're just making sure we're keeping up with our users and roles, making sure that we have people with the right visibility that they should. You can leave it at that in case that is kind of an awkward space to walk into. But users and roles really helpful in just giving the right experience, but also yeah, helping you be able to navigate around the area.
Awesome. Um, there's not a way to schedule an automated follow-up email based on non-attendance, I believe. But I'm gonna wrap my brain around that. Is there some kind of background way we can do that? I don't.
Immediately as I'm thinking about it,
You
I
you could
don't
create a
believe
follow-up
so.
for it and then remind somebody in your group to send it, but it's not going to send an email automatically. It's going to assign some. You can assign somebody to be in charge of that, but it's going to be, yeah, it's not automatic. That's going to take a little bit of work on your end in terms of using follow-ups to create that kind of flow that you want. But then you can assign it to somebody to go after
Yeah,
that.
because attendance most of the time is entered manually. And I think there's just because of that, how are the
Yeah.
two working together?
Okay. Well, good. There was one question in the chat. How do you unarchive someone when you put them there by mistake? Was that already answered in your conversation? I'm trying to remember. But
Yeah, I mean, we could go over it again too, if
okay.
we had or hadn't. I'm kind of losing track, just trying to get as many
Yeah.
out as possible. But
Yeah.
unarchiving someone, yeah, that would be if you're in beta on the left hand side, you see archive. Uh, maybe that's legacy. When we go to the archive space, it would be selecting that person and then checking that box next to, in this case, Jason Bourne's name, and then clicking that unarchive just to make sure that they're in that right experience. So you could also do this in bulk. Like we have had situations where, I mean, y'all, this is scary moments if you accidentally find yourself archiving literally everyone in your breeze. That's always a scary moment when that happens, but it can. You could reach out to us in support, and we have some
Cool.
ways to make sure that is done quickly. We don't want you clicking
Awesome.
through one by one 800 people. Our whole goal is to save you time and get back to serving your members because that's what matters. So if that happens by mistake, no worries. Just reach out to us.
Awesome. Yeah, Emily, there'll be a recording sent out after Zoom decides to, sequence all of this and make it all nice, pretty. We'll make sure that gets sent out to everybody that has registered for it. Honestly, there was over 200 people that registered for this webinar, so that's kind of fun. It's we had 71 people in here. But if there are not any other questions, we're gonna wrap up here. And our goal here at Tithely is to have one of these webinars once a month for Breeze users, and so we'll have something in August. Keep a lookout for it, and we will be able to get some other answers and some other time together. But guys, thank you so much for joining us. We're so grateful. We are definitely always aiming to be by your side and for your growth. And remember, we just want to simply serve the people of our church, the people of our area, and Tidely wants to serve you. So thank you for this time and this opportunity. Have a great day, guys.
Take care.